Hello, what is up? What's good? Welcome into the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, Monday edition, alongside Stern Bets, Drew DeLucchi. I am the Prince of Picks. Boy, do we have an action-packed weekend to cover here. The weekend that was, tons of stuff going on here in the sports landscape. Of course, World Cup in full swing here. We'll be sure to give some analysis and some thoughts about what happened over the weekend. And UFC, what a UFC card that was last night. The White House card, action-packed card. Had a lot of fun watching that and texting the boys about that as well. And so we'll definitely give you some thoughts and opinions on that. It was an absolute banger of a card. I thought it was just as a UFC novice myself, I thought it was very entertaining. Something that's going to bring me back to watch more UFC for sure. So really enjoyed that. I'm sure Moshe and Drew have a lot to say about that. So we'll get into that shortly. Of course, we've got what do we got? We got WNBA in action. We had the NBA Finals, right? That's done. Knicks, congratulations to the Knicks winning the championship. I'll definitely have some thoughts and opinions on that whole series, including Game 5. And then we'll see what else we have here as we enter the landscape of sports for today. With that being said, I am once again joined by Mr. Stern Betts. Mr. Moshe, good morning, sir. Let's just get right into it, man. How about that UFC card last night?
That was unbelievable. Not one fight went the distance. Every single one ended in a KO or TKO. If you guys were following my article, which I sure hope you were, we went 7-4, including a 460 ticket, plus 165, plus 150, plus 130. So definitely a lot of profit all around. I'm so excited to see what comes next. I mean, anything after last night is going to be a little bit of a letdown, though. And that was just unreal.
Yeah, it feels like it. Like I said, I'm new to this sport, right? You guys have kind of roping me in here yourself in Japan, and you guys talked about it a lot. I said, okay, let me give this a try, right? And so last night was probably the first time I've actually watched the full card from start to finish. I thought it was thrilling. I love the fact that there were no fights that went the distance. It was action packed. Every fight ended, relatively quickly, which makes it easier to watch as a neutral. But yeah, to your point, I thought it was just nonstop action. One of the better UFC fights. Again, I haven't seen too many, but just of what I've seen, it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, unreal. Drew, welcome in, buddy. How do you do? How was your weekend? And how did you feel about those fights last night?
Yeah, I went, I think, 2-2 counting Friday overall on the weekend, so not bad at all. But I love those fights. Yesterday, we had some, of course, upsets, and none of the main card fights, went the distance. And I have somebody who I talk to a lot, generally about like UFC, and he made a really good point to me that if you look at a lot of these, these I would say international fighters that aren't necessarily from America, you can see the temperature that they're not used to. Like we're seeing the World Cup, it hurt them. I would say in that way because if you look at Europe and these other countries, they don't really have the humidity that you see in America and like North America in general. And you can tell it really took an effect for I think Taporia in the beginning of the fight. We kind of saw it with these other fighters as well, like Alex Pereira. I know like Cyril Gahn isn't from America, but he was built in a lab. It's a different story. But Alex Pereira, you could tell he was literally just gassed after one round. Like you can tell a lot of these foreigners, like we see in the World Cup, they're getting gassed from this humidity, this 80+ degree weather they're not used to, and the fact that it was outside too. And you saw the Americans like Josh Hogan, they're used to it and stuff like that because these UFC fighters don't usually the international ones. I don't think people realize they don't usually just stay in America most of the time and wait for their fight. A lot of them go back to their country and they, chill there or something.
Yeah, I wanted to bet on someone to lose the fight from a mosquito. Just as a little fun thing. Didn't end
That'd be crazy.
That's pretty funny.
All right, let's get into the day ahead in sports. Prince, where are we going first? International soccer, World Cup soccer? What do we got?
Yeah, let's just go right into World Cup soccer. Of course, that is our international soccer right now. It's just World Cup. So to recap here of the weekend that was, of course, we had the big match on Friday right between the United States and Paraguay. U.S. a shocking 4-1 victory. Shocking, not in the sense that they beat them, but how they beat them. I thought that was the best I've seen a United States men's national team play in quite some time. That's a quality Paraguay side that they just took them to the woodshed. So it gives us promise and hope for things to come here for USA. as they play against Australia next up. That's going to be this Friday. And Australia, in their own right, one of the shock results as well of the World Cup so far, Saturday night, they defeated Turkey at 2-0, a match that Turkey was heavily favored to win. I thought Australia looked great in that one. They did play a very defensive style, which is okay if you're not if you're an inferior team, right? If your team is not as good, I don't have a problem with you playing a defensive style. It's when you're a team like Arsenal that has loads of talent and you refuse to use that talent, you just play defensive and you bunker in. That's when I have a problem with it. But in terms of Australia, they came in the inferior side, did what they had to do to get the win. I thought one of their young players, Iran Kunda, you guys are going to want to watch out for him. He's a young, fast winger for the Australians. Absolutely electric player. I think he might make a name for himself in this World Cup. I could see him making a move to a big club here in the offseason if things keep going the way they are for him. He's one of their most fun players to watch in this tournament. He had a goal against Turkey, and his speed is next level. I mean, it really is. So something for U.S. to watch out for as we're projecting to the next game here between the United States. I think their outside wingbacks could be in trouble here, specifically looking at Tim Ream, an older player, pushing his 40s here. I don't know if he's going to be able to play in that game for very long if Iran Kunda is going to be on the wing there. I think that could be really, really bad for the U.S. there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Poach makes some defensive adjustments there. But getting back to the World Cup here, other shocking results. We saw Qatar drawing with Switzerland 1-1. I thought the Swiss looked absolutely putrid. Horrible. One of the worst performances I've seen from a World Cup team this tournament so far. Just came out with a completely lackadaisical attitude, got up 1-0 and acted like the game was over. Very arrogant approach, and that's what happens. You play with your food, you get bit. I think that's exactly what happened with Switzerland. Qatar, late goal against a Swiss defense that fell asleep. It was a header about the last couple minutes of the game. So credit to Qatar. They played terrible. They did not play a good game, but they did enough to get the point there. So congrats to them for getting their first ever World Cup point. And then, of course, yeah.
Guess who had that draw for plus 550?
I know you did. I know. I know. It was the first thing I thought. I said, wow, okay. Shout out to the model there. That was still a shocking result. I mean, I mean, congrats to you, obviously. But no, I think if they play that game 90 more times, there's no way that ends in a draw. But hey, it did. So it is what it is. And then, of course, yesterday we had some great matches as well. So the World Cup's in full swing here. We already gave out our plays for today, so I will be giving out plays for tomorrow. We'll go ahead and jump into that right now, I guess. So tomorrow, we've got some great matchups here. We got Argentina taking on Algeria. That's going to be a kickoff here taking place tomorrow. Sorry, guys, I don't have the schedule pulled up here. Normally, I like to tell you guys exactly what time that's going to be. I don't have the schedule pulled up, but in any case, they're playing tomorrow. Sorry, at 9 p.m. Eastern kickoff, so tomorrow night. What I landed on here, of course, you got to take Argentina on the money line, but I'm also going to play under 3.5 goals. That comes in at minus 120, so if you parlay those together, Argentina, typically, they're not a high-scoring team. The most of their games feature 3 goals or less, so although I do expect Argentina to win this one, I think Algeria will hang in there. I think they'll keep it tough for them. Algeria is not a bad team in their own right, and so I do expect Argentina, their talent, to overcome this one and get the win. 2-0, maybe 3-0, maybe 2-1, something like that. I can't really see there being more than 3 goals in this one. So I'll take Argentina on the money line and under 3.5 goals. That comes in at minus 120. And then my other play for tomorrow in the World Cup is going to be between Austria taking on Jordan. This is a midnight Eastern kickoff here, so late one here for the East Coast. Of course, this one's taking place in the West Coast. That's why it's such a late kickoff. I like both teams scoring this one. I think this one could be one of the more fun games of the tournament. You have two teams that love to attack, are very front foot in their aggressive nature and in the style that they play. I think you're likely to see that in this one too. Both of these teams are going to look at this game as a game that they need to win in order to have a chance of progressing out of the group. So I really like Austria, Jordan. Both teams to score here at plus 105. I think that's a really good price for what could be one of the more entertaining games of this tournament, in my opinion. And then, of course, guys, real quick, if you guys want more plays, you guys can catch all of my World Cup plays over on my X profile. That's at PrinceofPix10. There's a VIP channel with a pin post on my profile. Details on how to sign up is just $5, guys. It gives you access to each and every single World Cup play for every group stage match, every knockout stage. player props, futures, live plays delivered to you in real time directly to your phone. Again, it's just $5. Try it out for the World Cup. If you don't like it, you can cancel afterwards, but I think you'll be happy with the investment. So just a quick plug there for the rest of the World Cup plays. But as far as the show goes, Argentina money line under 3.5 -120. Austria, Jordan, both teams to score plus 105.
I love it. I am partial to your second player there with Jordan, both teams to score. I really like that one. Model very much agrees with it. Very interested in watching it. 3 p.m. today, the games start. And again, if you're not following Prince on social media, please go do that. He does give out a lot of great live plays.
Quick correction there. The games actually start at 12 p.m. Eastern here, so about 15 minutes as we're live here. We got a first one here between Spain and Cape Verde. Yeah, kicking off at 12 Eastern, which I have a hard out here at 12 Eastern, so I got 15 more minutes here before I got to get out of here.
All right. Let's move through. Let's go to the MLB. Prince, where are you going first?
So for the MLB here, I do have a 2-team parlay here. Moshe, I'm sorry, I don't have the schedule pulled up here. If you can help me out with the teams that they're playing against. But I have the Nationals. Their team total over 3.5. Nationals. Sorry, I got it right here. They're taking on the Royals.
They're playing Kansas City.
Yep, they're playing Kansas City. Yep. So I'll take the Nationals here. Team total over 3.5. Again, the Nationals, one of the better hitting teams in the majors. They've been putting up a lot of runs as well. So I'll take their scoring offense here against the Royals pitching staff that has been a little bit subpar. So give me the Nationals here over 3.5, and I'm going to parlay that with the Chicago Cubs here over here in Chicago, my hometown city here. Take them over 3.5 as well. Taking on the Rockies again. The Cubs in decent form hitting. Rockies, one of the worst bullpens or pitching staffs, I should say, in the majors. So I think we have a great opportunity here to see some runs in both games. Give me the Nats over 3.5, Cubs over 3.5. That comes in at -124.
Yep, don't mind this at all. Definitely shop the lines. I think I got this on DK for -108. Drew, where are you going for your baseball play of the day?
Yeah, for sure. Let me see real quick. Had it right here because it's a shorter slate today. We do have Zach Wheeler on the mound, which I'm of course looking forward to seeing. Let me double check what his odds were when for his out. It was at 17.5 last night. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. What I was saying is it was at 17.5 yesterday, but I'm going with that. But my backup is going to be, I'm going to go with Shota Imanaga. Shota is at 17.5, and he has been consistently getting like 6 innings. He is going to be playing at Coors Field against the Rockies offense that is either off or on. And I'm going to actually do his under 17.5 outs at +120. I'm willing to risk that. I know last time we did it didn't work out, but I like these Coors Field. Just hope even if he is giving up 5 runs, the Rockies don't just leave him in the high elevation. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't project Michael Lorenzen to have a good day. I am on the Cubs run line. If you guys are interested in playing that, that's over on my premium articles over on Substack. I am going to go. So I didn't write a full analysis like I normally do, but I really like this play, and I'm going to have it in 2 different ways. I'm going to take the Reds' first 3 money line at -135. Hopefully the price dropped from last night, but I didn't want to haggle, and I was exhausted, so I just took the line. This is Chase Burns starting against the Mets bullpen game. I don't really see how the Mets are going to be competitive in this. I don't mind the Reds' first 5. I don't mind the first 7, and I don't mind the run line at +140. But when I'm looking at these 2 teams here, Mets significantly struggle on the road. The Reds do significantly better at home. You're getting mid-tier temperatures here. So the way I see it is either the Reds are going to be leading after the 3rd inning, or the Mets-Reds first 3 under 2.5 at -125 is also going to come in. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a full unit on the Reds money line -135, and I'm putting a half a unit on the Mets-Reds first 3 under 2.5 to hedge my bet. Drew, any thoughts on there before we move on? I do want to get to Prince's plays, all of Prince's plays today before he has his hard out. Any thoughts on this?
No thoughts.
Prince, any thoughts? We're moving on.
Nope, nothing for me, sir.
All righty. Sorry, everybody. We're just going to keep on moving through. We're just going to quickly touch on the NBA because my Knicks won the championships. That was unbelievable. Unbelievable. They had 3 incredible comeback games in that series. I don't know what else to say. They lost every single first quarter. and then just dominated, or at least was competitive for the most part, the rest of the way through, especially in the fourth quarter. Jalen Brunson, I mean, what can you say about that man? Prince, why don't you recap us a little bit in the NBA, and then we'll jump straight into the WNBA.
Yeah, for sure. So going to the NBA, right? I think there's two ways you can look at this, right? You can look at it from the Spurs side, and you can look at it from the Knicks side. So I'll start with the negative side first, right? If you're a San Antonio Spurs fan, if you're a Spurs member of that roster, you're someone affiliated with the organization, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, how the hell did we lose this series, right? There's three games, game two, game four, and game five. All games in which they should have easily won the game, right? Game two, of course, was the one with the Wemby bad pass off of the rebound. Game four was, of course, a 29-point lead. In game five, they had a 10-point lead again going into the fourth quarter. So this team's really got to figure out what is going on with them blowing these leads late in the games. They're going to have to figure that out. But that's part of an X's and O's thing. But in terms of their mentality, look, this is a young team. They'll learn from it, right? They're going to get better from it. Side note, I would look at Wemby, 2027 MVP. I think Wemby, looking at his work ethic, his will to win, his determination to really not accept failure, I think those things are going to drive him to work this offseason. And you think of how good he is already. Can you just imagine a better Wemby than what we're seeing already? I think the sky's the limit for him, and I think he comes out next season with a real chip on his shoulder. So I would look at some MVP props for Wemby for sure. But as far as the Spurs go, where do they go in this offseason? I mean, it's a lot of self-reflection. I mean, this is a series they really should have won. Had a great chance to win in the three games. They kind of choked it away. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. So young team, they'll learn from it. And going to the Knicks here, wow, what a resilient team, right? I think that the key word for them for this playoff run is resiliency. It didn't matter how much they got down in any game. It didn't matter what the situation was. You always felt like they had a chance. And not only did we always feel like they had a chance, they always felt like they had a chance. And they showed it time and time again. When people counted them out, they bounced back. What an epic run in the playoffs. What was it? 16-3. 16-3 in the playoffs. One of the great all-time runs we've ever seen in NBA playoff history. So congrats to the Knicks. Congrats to Mike Brown, Cat, Jalen Brunson, all those guys. Look, it's a lot of guys with chips on their shoulders, right? You got Jalen Brunson, who was given up on in Dallas. All right, you got Cat, who was given up on in Minnesota. You got Josh Hart, Jose Alvarado, who were given up on in New Orleans. You got a lot of guys here who, even Mikal Bridges, to a sense, was given up on in Phoenix and in Brooklyn. So you got a lot of guys here who were on other teams, and the other team said no thanks, and they ended up on the Knicks. There was a collection of guys with chips on their shoulder, and I think it showed in their effort and their intensity and their resiliency. And I thought they were just a really entertaining team to watch down the stretch. So congrats to them. Congrats to the city of New York. The NBA is in a better place when a blue blood like the Knicks are a champion. So I think that's going to do great for NBA going forward here. We like to see the big cities win it. So, of course, the blue bloods being Boston, New York, LA, in my opinion. So anytime one of those win, I think it's a good thing for the league. And the Knicks, of course, haven't not won in so many years. So congrats to you, Mosh. Congrats to all the Knicks fans out there. And let's see what happens next season. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to repeat. Teams are going to get a lot better. Of course, the West is going to get a lot better. You got a lot of guys out in the West that are going to be back, including, just to name a few, Kyrie Irving. I'm drawing a blank on other guys. Jimmy Butler, of course, for the Warriors. And in the East, you're going to have Tyrese Halliburton back for the Pacers. A lot of guys are going to come back. So we'll see what happens in terms of these teams and their rosters. But credit to the Knicks. Shout out to them. Hell of a season, hell of a playoff run, and one of the all-time great runs we've ever seen.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. That was the most excited. I mean, to be fair, they won, so it is the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me as a Knicks fan. But this is the most excited that I have ever felt during the series since Linsanity. Shout out to Lynn. All right, Prince, bring us into WNBA. You've been absolutely crushing these. What do you got for us today?
Yes, sir. So let's see if we can continue our hot streak here in the W. We got 3 games here tonight. Again, these are all doubling as Commissioner's Cups games. So we got the Aces taking on the Wings. We have the Portland Fire heading to Minnesota taking on the Lynx. Then we have the LA Sparks taking on the Golden State Valkyrie. Doing a 3-pick parlay here for this one. I'm going to take the Lynx straight up on the money line here against Portland. They are 14-point favorites. But for this parlay piece, I'll just take the Lynx to win this one outright on the money line. We're also going to parlay that with the Aces. I'm going to alt spread them here to plus 5.5. They're 2.5-point favorites right now, but I'm going to alt spread them to a plus 5.5 point spread. Just because the Wings can be a little bit tricky at home. Sometimes they overperform. And I could see them potentially getting a win here, but not by much. So I'll take the Aces plus 5.5 with the Lynx on the money line. And our final leg of this parlay, we're going back to the tried and tested Kelsey Plum, 5+ assists. This has hit in 8 of her 9 games this season. The one game it didn't hit, she had 4 assists. So she has been the Chris Paul of the LA Sparks, if you will. And I'm going to see that continue here tonight. So it can be Lynx money line, Aces plus 5.5, Kelsey Plum, 5+ assists. And that probably comes in at minus 110.
I mean, I don't know what you just said, but I'm playing all of it. Just kidding. I do know what you said. I 100% agree. I just, I'm not so familiar with the WNBA, but when I'm looking at my record, just in the last month, let me pull it up here because I haven't played anyone else's WNBA plays. All right. So when I'm looking at my record in the last month, I'm looking at a 29-10 run. Well done, sir. Well done.
Sounds about right. Thank you, sir.
Oh man, that is quite a show. Drew, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was gonna say congrats to your Knicks for sure, and congrats to the Hurricanes as well. We got both the championships decided in one weekend, which is pretty cool to see.
Yeah. The NHL also. Congratulations, Carolina.
Winning 3 straight.
A little scared there at the beginning there, but they pulled it off. All right, Prince, any last thoughts? Anything else that we want to get to? We did talk about NHL, NBA, MLB. We didn't talk about PGA. Our main man, Brian Liberati, had quite a good weekend. Would have been better if, what's his name, didn't bow out in the 4th round. What was his name? He was on the Saudi tour. But besides that, we did really well. We had a really good weekend. So I'm looking forward to continuing it and seeing what he brings for next week's golf PGA tournament. Question of the day. Is there any other sports that we want to talk about as a group?
No, nothing else to cover for me, Drew. You got anything else to cover?
Nothing on my end.
Drew, you got a question of the day? Nice, easy, and breezy for us.
I would need to think about it real quick.
Sure thing. All right, here's a good one. Quick, easy, no sweat. And if anybody wants to come onto our show, please request and we'll bring you on to talk shop if you have an opinion, a sports bet, or a take, a story, whatever you want, a question. Feel free to request and we'll bring you on. Mountain, freezing cold, snow, beach, steaming hot, warm. What do you prefer? Prince, going in first.
We kind of talked about this earlier, didn't we? I think you and me. I think so. It was similar. Not exactly in those terms, but we were talking about hot and cold and how basically I hate like the humidity with the heat, and you said you like it as like a warm blanket. No thanks, not for me. So I'd probably take the freezing cold. I know I'm kind of out on an island on that one for me, but the way I look at it, it's easier to stay warm than it is to cool down. So if it's cold, just throw on some layers of clothes, and you can find yourself get warm at some point. But when it's so hot and with that humidity, I mean, there's nothing you can't walk around naked, right? So really, there's nothing you can do. You're just sitting there with drenched clothes on you, drinking bottles of water one after the other. But you're kind of suffering more. You know what I'm saying? So I think throw on some hats, throw on some gloves, put a few layers of shirts on. You'll be all right in the cold.
Yeah, no, not for me. I'm at the heat. Give me the heat any day of the week. Depends where you live in terms of how much clothes you have to keep on. Drew, what's your answer?
Oh, what was the question again?
Extreme heat or extreme cold?
I mean, I live in extreme heat already, so right
Yeah,
now
I
it's
think where you
it's
live kind of answers the question itself.
oh well, I would say like if we're talking like beyond what I have to deal with already, because right now this week it's in Phoenix/Glendale. It's supposed to be like 108, 110 ish, like 105. The extreme, like I would say I prefer like because I grew up in the Midwest too for college wise. I would prefer 20-degree weather, like probably 10 to 20-degree weather than 110 plus. I'll say that. But if you told me -degree weather, because I've dealt with 0-degree weather, but like -15 wind chill, I'd rather deal with heat. I don't know why, but when it goes to like the negatives, Like it gets way worse. Like the drop off between 50 to 10 is not nearly as bad from the drop from like 10 to negative. Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that, very much so. All right, Prince, I know you're having a hard out. Can you give us and recap us your best bets of the day, and we can close up a little bit early if nobody else wants to come on up?
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and recap my plays. So yeah, for the W here, we're looking at the Lynx on our money line with the Aces plus 5.5 and Kelsey Plum 5+ assists that comes out at -113. In baseball, I'm going to take the Nationals team total over 3.5 with the Cubs team total over 3.5 that comes out at -124. Then in the World Cup, I'm on Argentina. This is for tomorrow, by the way, guys. This World Cup. This is for Tuesday's matches. I'm on Argentina money line plus under 3.5 goals at -120. And I'm also going to be taking Austria, Jordan, both teams to score at +105. And real quick, guys, I should go ahead and mention this. We are 8-4 right now in our World Cup match plays over on the VIP channel. So we're off to a hard start here. And we'll see if we can continue that going on today.
Well done, sir. Well done indeed. All right, Drew, what do you got for us today?
I have the Hurricanes win the Stanley Cup. The next one, I'm just kidding. I have Shota and Managa under 17.5 at +120, and that's it for me today.
All right, well done. I'm going to take a full unit on the Reds first three money line -135 and a half a unit on the Mets Reds first three under 2.5 at -125. Prince, are you still with us? Do you want to close this out?
Yeah, I'll close this out, guys. Yep. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for us. This has been your Monday edition of the OnlyBets Sports Podcast, condensed version here, as we got the World Cup kicking off here at 12 p.m. Eastern. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. For Stern Bets, Drew DeLucchi, I'm the Prince of Picks. Let's cash out these tickets. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll be back again tomorrow live on X at OnlyBets Podcast, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Catch us Monday through Friday. We appreciate you guys as always, and we'll talk to you all soon. Thank you.